What up, paintball world? This is Steve Reyes back at you again with another episode of Next Point Podcast, where each episode we dive deep into some aspect of competitive tournament paintball. So today I wanted to discuss the differences between the scrimmage and the practice. Our sport's very unique. We like to mix these two concepts. We say to each other, hey, practice at the field, Sunday, 9 a.m. But what we really mean is, hey, the 4-hour scrimmage is Sunday at the field, 9 a.m. In our sport, we mix these two concepts. And this is where our sport really deviates from other sports. I've had the pleasure of playing a lot of organized sport, wrestling, football, lacrosse, and now paintball. And in every organized sport I've ever played, practice is most definitely not a scrimmage. I think back to my years playing football and what practice looked like and what it didn't look like. What it didn't look like was actually playing the game of football. We used to have a saying that you had to earn the scrimmage. We were excited at that opportunity in the off-season to finally get some opponents at the field and get to play some real downs. Actually get to play the game that we loved. But as far as practice looked much different. Practice looked like training. Physically training the body. Mechanics. Individual drills. Positional and group drills. Time spent with your positional coach working on things that were going to come up in the game of football, but not playing the game of football. We were breaking the game down piece by piece, working on all the individual parts that we needed so that after we worked hard, after we got those skills that we needed, we'd bring it together for the scrimmage. And it was exciting. That team coming off the bus to your field, getting ready to play some real downs. It was earned. It came after a lot of hard work. And this is one of those places our game really deviates. For a lot of teams and a lot of players, practice is simply running points over and over again with no score and no clock. Essentially every point starting 0-0 with no time limit. And how often does that happen in a real tournament setting for paintball? That happens 1 point each set. That first point against our opponent. And after that, it's always different. Things have happened. Constraints. They're up a point. I'm up a point. 5 minutes on the clock. 7 minutes on the clock. 2 minutes on the clock. Penalty, we're down a body. Penalty, we're up a body. Situations are developing on the field. Situations that might only come up occasionally. When I think of our sport, it looks a lot like the NFL of the 1950s or the 1960s. A lot of us are coming from our jobs. We're weekend warriors. And who wants to spend their weekend doing drills when we could simply just play some points and skip past the hard work and go right into the scrimmage? But that's the interesting part about our game. I believe we are in the developmental stages. We're close to a new age of tournament paintball, where it's not good enough just to play points. It's not good enough to just come and have fun on Sundays. There's a greater seriousness that is for the teams that want to win, and the teams that want to take this sport to where it could be. And think about the NFL of the 1960s versus today. I mean, the NFL looks like a science. So many people involved, so many coaches, building the body, rehabbing the body, private chefs, developmental people who know how to give you what you need to perform. Coaches for every position who specialize in what they do. And then a large coaching staff to help bring that all together for game time. And that's going to be the future of paintball. It's moving past the fun era into the serious era. You can see it coming now. People taking training the body seriously. Working on mechanics. Working on individual drills. Situational drills. 3v3s, 2v2s, island drills. Situations that come up during the game. Isolating them. Thinking about them, working on them. Developing the skills to be successful when those situations come up. And that's where we find some challenges. I gotta be honest, I've had some challenges recently. Been coaching the Enemy of the State boys. And sometimes the fields can be a challenge. It's difficult to get the requisite time on the field that we need. A lot of field owners don't want you drilling. Why would they? You're not using as much paint. You're taking time off the field that points could be played. It's not the best business decision from the field owner's perspective. And me and my teams have had some trouble with that. Not all of us have a private field where we can just dominate it and do what we want. It's been frustrating because I know what my team needs. I know the situations we need to work on. I know how to put players in those positions and learn the skills that they need to be successful when it comes time for the tournament. But what if we don't have access to a field that we can dominate? What if we don't have access to a scenario where we can set up those situations? And this is where I wanted to give some practical advice for teams that are tired of the carnival of points, the carousel of points that never ends, where we just keep going out point after point after point, playing a team, taking a break, playing another team, and really not getting any better. Not working on those things that are stopping our success when it comes to tournament time. How can we turn the scrimmage into a practice. I believe the antidote is intention. We can play points with intention and with specific goals to help us learn those skills that we need to be successful. Help us learn the lessons we need to not make the same mistakes over and over again, tournament after tournament. So let's talk about some of these antidotes of intention. How can we turn a point into a specific intention to give us a specific result? And I came up with a few recently. The first one I want to talk about is the 3-gear transmission. I got to give some credit to my boy Jackson Rudy of Wrecking Crew. He really demonstrated how useful this can be. And I've adopted it with my team that I'm coaching. When we're in these situations where I can't run drills and I can't run situationals, and we're forced to play point after point, I started adding constraints. One of the best ways we can add intention is to add constraints. And my favorite one so far has been the 3-gear transmission. So let's talk about that for a sec. What are the 3 gears I'm talking about? So let's start with the first gear. I affectionately called this gear the fuck comms gear. Little abrasive, little hyperbolic, but it makes the point. When I set this intention with my team for this particular point, I am not worried about communication. I almost want us to abandon communication. Not fully, but that's the mentality. I want us attacking all 3 sides of the field. I want to see creative moves. You feel that there's an opportunity to do something, I want you to do it. You think you see an opening in the field, I want you to take it. If we get blown up, who the fuck cares? If we get shot looking stupid, who cares? This is practice, not the scrimmage, because we've added intention. In this first gear, we are not worried about cross-field communication. We're not worried about finding all the bodies before we attack. We're not worried about where our guys are positioned at all times. We're using 2-man operations, talking to the guy closest to us, and seizing every initiative we can on the field. 100 miles per hour, gas to the floor. Challenging ourselves. What can we get away with? What move's available? Where's that highway move? Where's that big up the middle move? Where's that rundown where we get 1 or 2 bodies? This is an opportunity for us to pin our ears back and go. Have that ability to attack the field on all 3 sides simultaneously. We are looking to push the envelope, looking to get our opponents off balance. Where's the attack coming? It's coming from everywhere. And it's coming hard. And it's coming fast. Now, here's the beauty of it. The transmission switches gears. From that fuck comms gear, we're going to go to a full control and communication gear. we're going to totally swing the pendulum to the opposite end. We are going to take 5 makeable spots. We are going to look to survive. And I'm not going to allow movement. I'm going to restrict my players' movement. I might not allow them to move from the starting bunkers at all. Maybe I might give them 1 or 2 options for movement. But the goal being, we are going to find all the bodies and we are going to control the field. This ends up being a great opportunity to work on certain aspects of communication. A big one that I like to work on when we're in this comms and control gear is the order of communication. Pop quiz. What is the most important information off the break in the first 5 seconds? Answer: who are the widest players? The widest players is always the most important information. And here's the problem. 5 guys love to talk at the same time. This happens all the time. I'm a culprit myself. I'm calling out positions in the first 5 seconds that aren't really that important. Does the team really not think there's a home player in the first 5 seconds? The order of operations for communication is incredibly important. First step, where are the widest players? Fundamental and crucial. Okay, great. We've collected that information. We know where the 2 wide players on both sides of the field are. Second step, fill in the blanks. Where are those other 3 bodies? Now that we've eliminated the wide players, we know where they are. Where are those other 3 bodies? This is where we draw the full picture. That's why the first people to talk on the opening breakout is the 2 people who see the wide positions. And this can be different positions on the field. But the order never changes. The wide players come first, and now the rest of the players can communicate the remaining 3 bodies. That's the order of operations. The wide players, then we fill in the gaps. And now, through a nice order of operations, we've established where all 5 bodies are. And this is where I'll let the team start to attack. This is the prerequisite for my players moving out of those starting bunkers in the comms and control gear. We've established all 5 bodies. And now we're going to figure out who has the ball. Where is the best opportunity for us to attack the field now knowing where all of the opponents are? Where's the hole? Where's the opportunity to turn the game? And then we can execute. And what I love about these 2 gears is how effective they are in combination. So a lot of times when I'm coaching, I'll make the same 5 players move back and forth from these gears. From that push the envelope, don't worry about communication, attack, seize initiative, be creative, and then we'll slip right into that control comms gear where we are totally focused on connection, understanding the field, assessing the players in their positions, finding the hole, and executing. I found this to be an incredibly effective intention to set. and can turn a day of scrimmaging into a real authentic day of practice where the skills we're lacking, they get highlighted and they can be worked on. And the best part is, as I have my team explore both sides, both opposite swings of that pendulum, they help inform each other. Maybe we'll go from exploring these two opposite ends of the range to letting my team have a more balanced gear, that middle gear. I'll see elements of communication and control help the attack. I'll start to see elements of attack and creative movement and seizing initiative help the control. Helps us explore both ranges. And then ultimately, help us find that middle ground where we're mixing the two together. Excellent way to turn the scrimmage into a practice. Another great intention I like to set is the QB drill. Again, going back to that principle of constraints, adding a constraint to the scrimmage. For the QB drill, most of the time it's that 3 position. They will be playing the point without a gun. They can't shoot their gun. They have to learn to win with their mind and with their mouth, with their communication, and with their connection to their teammates. This is a great way to help that 3 position be a better director of traffic. Help that position be better at finding the holes on the field. Establishing cross-field communication. Getting that vital information from one side of the field to the other. QB drill is an excellent option for turning that scrimmage into a practice. One other thing I like to do is move that QB drill around. How do we do that? Most teams have a code for when their gun is down. And if you don't, you probably should. It's not a great idea to have players on the field screaming that their gun is down. No reason to give the opponent some extra info, right? Well, what I like to do when I'm in that coaching position, getting to see the field, see the point develop, is I'll pick somebody and tell them, hey, your gun's down. This might be that 3 position like the QB drill, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's that snake 1 position that's halfway up the field already. And tell them, hey, your gun's down, brother. And force that player to have to engage with their mind. What can I do from this position if my gun is eliminated? How can I still help my team find victory? Using my eyes, using my vision, using the attention I can draw from the other team. Maybe being more aggressive, willing to get even closer to the opponents, all without a gun. Maybe I can coax them into making an error. Maybe I can get close enough in, hit them with a pod trick, make the opponents make a mistake, or use my vision and my mind to find another hole on the field. Tell the opposite side of the field that they have the ball, or that my 2 needs to get into a different position. Maybe the hole is up the middle, and the 3 needs to find a way to attack forward. And then maybe at some point I'll tell them, hey, your gun's back up. You're back in the game. And then maybe I'll tell the other side of the field, hey, your gun is down now. Just setting up these different situations. Realistic situations. Guns go down all the time. Not letting that be something that can stop us from finding victory. Using those other aspects of the game and turning that scrimmage into a practice. So those are 3 ideas, 3 antidotes to turning the scrimmage into a practice. But there are more ideas. I'm sure some of you got some ideas. But here's the main philosophy. If we want to win and be successful in this new age of tournament paintball, it's not going to come from spamming points. We have to learn to add intention to our practice. That's the key. That's the key to getting the development we need to find the success at tournament time. So sound off on social media in the comments. I want to know what other ideas you guys have for adding intention to points. How can we set situations up even if we are limited in the drills we can do? How can we use points and use scrimmage to actually develop ourselves to be the best players we can be? So thank you for joining me on another episode of Next Point Podcast. If you're liking the content, please like, subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow me on Instagram at Next Point Podcast. We'll be putting out some more content. We'll be doing film review sessions from tournaments. Of course, more podcasts. And we'll even be adding some videos for physical training. Different types of strength exercises, mobility, different ways to develop the body. So again, sound off. Let me know what you guys think. How can we add intention to our scrimmage and turn it into a practice? And until the next time, on to the next point.